What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're having a great day so far here in the crypto markets, especially in the last 24 hours where Bitcoin has made a pretty good pump through 100K. We saw that coming. I will tell you guys why, what has been driving this crypto surge. We're also going to be taking a look into some altcoin markets, which will include Pancake Swap, Litecoin, and Algorand. See what has gone on in these markets. Take a look into some possible setups before they actually move again. Because if you guys are new to this channel, you guys should know that what I do here on a daily basis is that I dive deep into the charts every day to find the moves before they actually happen. Because let's face it, that's a lot less riskier than chasing a massive pump on the day of. If you guys actually chased a pump on the day of, which I'm sure you guys have, because many beginners have, or all beginners have, I have been there. It's a stressful experience. Many times I lose money, okay? Unless you can do it well, like right or well, but many times it's still pretty risky. I prefer to usually do it on a less risky approach. Now, if you guys do have any technical analysis requests, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what markets you guys want me to do out down in the comment section below. I will pick one request every day and do it for you guys on this video live. Now let's dive right into the charts here. What is going on with Bitcoin? Okay, for the last 24 hours, we had some pretty amazing price action for Bitcoin, right? And we have gone up to about 104,000. Now, why is that number special? Okay, we've been talking about this number, okay, on the 3-day time frame especially, which is the double bottom pattern here. On this 3-day time frame, I've been talking about this for weeks. If you guys been in this channel, you guys please do put your comment in the section below and let me know that I've been talking about this for weeks. And the price target was about 104,000. Basically, we are there to the T. Now, double bottom patterns are very simple but very effective patterns to be looking for because they are usually bullish patterns. Okay, you couple that with bullish divergence, which we had this the 3-day time frame. Okay, and we see a very powerful move here. So that's basically what has been, the driver, at least on the charts, for this move. Okay. Now let's come over here to daily time frame. We are still looking very good on these time frames here. Okay, and these are what I consider to be the higher time frames. Daily time frame, we are above the daily 200 SMA, which is a very important moving average. Still very well above that. We had a very solid candle close above above the 100K level. Okay, so chances are we could be retesting that level, but it could be a bullish retest where I would consider entries. Okay, I like entering on retests. That's less risky. Okay. Of course, it could retest other levels as well, such as moving averages on shorter time frames. I will also consider entries into altcoins during those levels. Of course, that's just me personally, not financial advice. None of what I'm saying here is financial advice, right? It is, let's see here, Bitcoin, hourly time frame. Let's zoom in a little bit more on the smaller time frames. Quite a bit of reversal patterns here on this hourly time frame, which is not surprising. I mean, after a huge pump like that. And what I mean here is basically you're getting higher highs on the price action chart, but you're seeing lower highs on the RS side. That is called bearish divergence. And some type of pullback here is not going to be surprising, but these are the smaller time frames. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look into Ethereum, which is having a great day today. Finally, it's actually having a bigger move than altcoins. Total three, excluding Ethereum. I've talked about this as well. I'm just gonna go over this very quickly because I want to illustrate to you how important learning the charts are on a daily basis, right? And that's why I talk about the charts before anything else, right? It's basically my main tool in this market and surviving in this markets. All news, basically all news aside, with a few exceptions. Now, Ethereum broke out of this pattern. I've talked about it. Price target is about 2,900, and this is on the daily time frame. It is still trying to break above the daily 200 SMA about 2,700. Okay, that is not there yet. Okay, let's go over here to Total 3, which is altcoin markets excluding Ethereum, and this is actually ahead of Ethereum because it has been, and it is basically at the 200 SMA right now, trying to break above it. Very similar charts though. On the daily time frame, broke out of this downtrend that has formed since the end of January. Price target for Total 3 is going to be about 1.1 trillion. Okay, that could still do some pretty amazing pumps for the altcoins. Of course, we're going to be taking a look into what the price action could be doing after it reaches its price target. Will it dump afterwards, or would it continue? So that is something that I would be looking at after. Okay, so it's very important to be staying around the channel here. Now, I also want to mention that Bitcoin is the driver of this market, of the entire crypto markets. If Bitcoin dumps, well, the altcoins are most likely going to be dumping as well. So this is why I do Bitcoin chart first things first. Let's take a look into S&P 500. This is a it could be most likely a front running signal for Bitcoin. Okay, it has very high correlation with Bitcoin, so not something to be overlooked, right? But right now it is still looking very good. It has bounced off a huge support at the 4,800, and this is the S&P 500 mini futures. Okay, and right now it is trying to get back on top of quite a bit of resistance as well. So some turbulence could happen, right? The daily 200 is currently at about 5,800. Price target for S&P 500 out of the smaller falling wedge pattern is about 5,800 as well. So something to be keeping in mind of. All right, let's go ahead and take a look into some altcoins and see if we can find any moves before they happen. We're going to take a look into Litecoin first, which is still having a pretty good day. And it's basically at its daily 200 SMA right now at about $99. Let's take a look into the pattern, the bigger pattern that Litecoin is in. 12-hour time frame. Very apparent. Okay. So it is still in the falling wedge pattern. I see that the price action, the bears have actually tried to break down from this pattern, from a falling wedge, which usually breaks to the upside. I think it's a pretty risky move to short a breakdown of a falling wedge. Just my opinion, because a lot of times I do see bear traps, and in this case, this was a bear trap. Basically, the bears try to break down from this pattern. However, the bulls just bought it up and ends right back into the pattern. Now, it is still within this falling wedge, and let's take a measure move here for Litecoin, which is basically you measure the opening of the pattern, and then you put it on top of an expected breakout point or estimated breakout point that will give us a A target of about $190 out of this pattern. Now this is a smaller pattern comparing to if we actually zoom out and take a look into, even like the monthly time frame, right? Monthly time frame here, we are not in there you go. Monthly time frame, we are not in overbought territory. Okay, so in that sense, I think we still have a lot of potential for Litecoin. And what I mean by that is if we actually take a look into the monthly RSI readings for altcoins that actually had data back in 2020, 2021, just look at how long the monthly RSI readings stay in overbought territory. So when the monthly RSI is in overbought territory, most likely it is near the top. But right now, Litecoin is not in overbought territory, so I think it still has some quite a bit of potential to go. Of course, that's not 100%, right? It's not 100% no risk, right? Because it could still dump. But I'm just saying, using a reference point from back in 2020, 2021, we still have quite a bit of upside potential. Okay. All right, monthly time frame here. We are seeing higher lows, and in a uptrend, you would see higher highs and higher lows. And if we actually hold this higher low here at about $82, then we can expect a higher high. Let's take a look into Pancake Swap and see what could be happening in this market. Monthly time frame, we are not in overbought territory, so quite a bit of potential there, upside potential there. Okay. And what I'm seeing here is still higher lows on the monthly time frame, and this higher low for Pancake Swap on this time frame is about $1.93. So not too far away from this price action right now. Measure move out of this falling wedge pattern, which you will commonly see, especially after a very extensive downtrend, which we had since January. I want to look for 3 candle touches just to validate this falling wedge. Here you go, 12-hour time frame. All right, how would you take a measure target? You basically you measure the opening of a falling wedge, and in this case, you're gonna put it on top of the estimated breakout point. I'm just gonna put it there, and that should give you a price target of $8. Now, price targets are estimates only. It could be more or less, right? And that's if this price action breaks out of this falling wedge pattern, which it usually does. Of course, there's still a risk that it breaks down as well. So that is basically what I'm looking at for Pancake Swap out of this 12-hour time frame, falling wedge. Of course, on a higher time frame, okay, let's just say if Pancake Swap breaks out, meets its price target, what happens there? Okay, then we're going to come back to this chart and we're going to rechart what the price action is doing at that time and see if we can get any hints on a new price target, either to the upside or downside. Basically what we're doing with Bitcoin right now, right? Since Bitcoin has hit that 104K price targets, I'm going to wait for it to consolidate and see if it gives me any more hints on if it's going to go up or down. Now let's come over here to Algorand. See what's going on in this market. So pretty common theme here on this monthly time frame. Higher low. Okay, higher low here was about $17.17. I did an analysis on Algorand not too long ago. Weekly time frame, falling wedge pattern. We are still very close to that breakout point. It did break out of this pattern. Measure move is going to be about 56 cents. Let's take a look into a smaller time frame and see what could be happening here. So I talked about this pattern a couple days ago, 4-hour time frame, right? Falling wedge pattern. It did, kind of break down from that pattern, but that is when we would actually rechart that pattern. And that is still valid. And either rechart that pattern and then get a new measurement, which I don't think it would have changed that much. And let's see here. It looks like it actually broke out. Just right over here. So in this case, the measure move was about 22 cents. Price action continued going up to about 24 cents. So yes, it did exceed the price target as it could, right? And also it could, sometimes it could fall short of the price target. Now let's take a look into a smaller time frame and see what we can, if we can get any clues on what Algorand could be doing. So Algorand has actually just, it kind of dipped back into the hourly 21 SMA, which looks pretty similar to the Bitcoin charts for the most part. So we're going to be taking a look. Right now, we're not really seeing any other patterns. This could be a cup and handle pattern here, right? The resistance being at about 24 cents. This is a cup and handle pattern, actually. Okay. A very small handle. Price target out of here. It's going to give you about 29 cents price target. Okay, out of the smaller cup and handle pattern here. We have the cup, right, the rounded bottom, and then the small handle after it got rejected right here. And then it's forming, in my opinion, would be forming that handle pattern right here, okay? So I guess it has not completely formed, okay? But if it does, then the 29 cents price target would be the price target, okay? But I guess it has not actually formed in this sense. I don't see a developed handle. So that's basically what I'm seeing. If this actually does come back to retest 24 cents and form that handle, then the price target will be in play. All right, so that's basically what I'm seeing for these markets. And this wraps it up for this video. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know if you guys want to see any particular markets in the crypto markets, and I will do it on the next video. That's it, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.